Happy Friday, everybody!
Hey, hey, look, I broke my background tonight. Look, it's
Yeah,
all
you're all
fun, isn't
cleaned
it? Eh?
out.
Yeah, makes a change, doesn't it? Here we go. I'll fix that now. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? It's been one of those days today. I hope everyone's keeping well. Let's spotlight as always myself and Robert. So that's fixed that. Lots going on this week.
Holy crap!
It's been a manic old week, isn't it, Robert?
Every day, every day.
So we got some exciting things to share tonight, and some special stuff for Inner Circle members only. So that'll be really good. But where do we start, Robert?
Well, I'm going to start with this. I love this community. I love people reaching out and helping other people, asking for accountability partners, asking for help, asking to give help. The only thing I'm going to say is you have to go back and tune it back to where people are. Remember, there's people that are starting out brand new that have never done anything in WordPress. So you have to sometimes dial yourself back in how you're going to help those people, because they're going to get frustrated if they don't understand. And the best thing we can do is help everybody at the level that they're at. And sometimes it's overthinking the simple things. We took a brand new domain, we put the painter's theme on it, and I tried a new method of keyword research for it, and we're testing it out. So it's been exactly a week, Stephen. We built it the same day we put it on the Google Search Console. It's already starting to get indexed. It's I can't say what the rankings are, because with the Google dance, it's all over the place. But I've seen stuff on page 2. I've seen stuff on page 13. I've seen it's all over the place, but it's brand new. So I'm not going to push the limit. Now, what did we do? We did a little bit of difference in the keyword research compared to what we usually do, to try something to make it better for everybody. And in the same level, we did put it into the Magic Ranker as a test, because as a brand new site, brand new domain, and we hit it with authority. And I just wanted to see what would happen. I think for a couple of days it did get sandboxed. The infamous Google sandbox that doesn't exist. I think it was in there. And if nobody's never heard of that before, when a brand new site is given too much rank too quickly, Google doesn't know how to place it. So rather than let it come out in search results, it holds it back until it can age a little bit, before it then will release it to start ranking it. I don't know if it was coincidence or not, but I used to get my sites Google Sandbox all the time because I would push things too hard. But I don't know if that was the case here or not. But now it's, like I said, I've seen it up and down all over the place. Very happy with the results I've seen so far, and we'll let you know next week how we're doing with it as far as what's going on. Now, that being said, yes, we did hit it with the Magic Ranker, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to see, when you guys do those things, whether it's going to blow up the site or whether it's going to get hurt, or whether it's going to be a win, because it's my site, it's my domain, it doesn't matter. And in all honesty, what I'm doing is I built a painting site for a client in my same city town, and he's on page 2, page 1, and I'm going after the same keywords. But I made an exact match domain so that I could see what the difference would be, because I don't like his business domain name, but that's what he wanted. So I put it up under his business domain name. It's very long, it's very old school, but so I wanted to just go after, instead of ranking for your business name, I wanted to rank for what people would look for. Because the obvious thing is, people don't search for a business if they don't know who the business is. They search for a service. And that's the way you have to think. You have to think, what are people going to look for, not what the business owner wants to look to search or rank for. They always want to rank for their name, but they always will. So just wanted to say that, and I appreciate all of you for what you do and how you help people and how you look at the entire group as far as what we're trying to do, encourage people, show them the ropes, and things are coming together really quickly. And Stephen and I have a lot of cemented plans that we're going to do on the build so that it'll be a system. It's going to be, it's more than websites now. It's a mission. It's a, let's build them, let's get them rented, and let's onboard clients to take them over, and let's make money with this stuff. Big money.
No, I absolutely agree with that. It's you know, in what we do, we've had setbacks, and everyone gets setbacks in their business all the time. My partner with a closed business, you know, she had a setback with eBay for a little while with payments, and we got through it. We found a way to resolve that issue. And there's always setbacks, but the thing is you just got to brush your shoulders off and get back on with it. You've really got to focus hard in what you're doing. It's like mass page building and building with Magic Page plugin or any other mass page builders. They use what's called shortcodes, or in the case of Magic Page plugin, it's an X field. And sometimes you'll get a false positive on a page using certain SEO testing tools like SEO Quake or one of those. But if you can get the content into your site in the right way, then that will help you along the ways. The common things, you know, people really complicate SEO. And for the Inner Circle members only in a bit, I'm going to be showing you the main things that I would recommend you focus on with your pages and your SEO. There's about, I think, about 5 key things that I do all the time on my sites, and I tweak them, I play around with them. You know, in the DFY Magic themes, we have X fields in place. For example, you know, X field _ niche in location, and then you have to go and find those X fields to match up with what you're doing. There's no harm on creating your own page related to a keyword. Right, so you use a clone page tool, which I'll show as well. The Inner Circle people, you clone a page, and then you go in there and you say, you know what, I'm not sure what X field niche in location is actually doing myself. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take that bit out and I'm going to put my own text in there. I'm going to put my own text, like, you know, house paint. I'm a house painter in Wellington, or something like that. But one thing you don't want to do with your sites, and I don't mind sharing this with everyone, don't keyword stuff. Right, I was on a site the other day, and this location was New York, I think it was, and it had whatever it was, the niche, it was niche.newyork.com. Then at the bottom of the page it had links, and all the links had the name of the niche and the nearby location. So if, for example, if it was plumbers, it'd say plumbers-New York. Right, on the first link, and then the next link down would be plumbers dash and another location, and it's all plumbers in on all the links. Google, on their recent updates, frown upon keyword stuffing. So if you think you can get away with putting the same thing all the way down your page hundreds of times, you can't. But when it comes to nearby locations, where you put other areas we cover, and you've got 5 to 10 nearby locations on there, well, if it's only got the location names on there, that's not going to do any harm. It's when Google thinks you are blatantly trying to put together a site with keywords that are trying to push people towards you. The one thing I've said from day one with building these websites is content is king. And once again, in a moment or two, I'm going to elaborate on that even more for the Inner Circle members only.
I want to just stop for a second, because if somebody doesn't understand what you mean by keyword stuffing, they're watching a replay or something else. This is going to go back quite a long ways. But there was a time in the almost the beginning of Google, where people would actually take the keyword make the keyword text white, and put it in a white background so you couldn't see it, and the entire page would be the keyword they were trying to rank their site for. That's a a primitive way of keyword stuffing. You can't do that anymore because the algorithm changed and updated to the point that you can't outsmart Google like that anymore. And they will actually red flag your site for having hidden text because of that method that people used to do. So keyword stuffing is just taking the same keyword you're trying to rank for and using it so many times that the entire site becomes that word. So you have to write the content for the reader, the searcher that came in to read this content about a topic. You can't make it sound robotic and keyword after keyword after keyword. You have to make it readable content that makes sense to the searcher. That's the bottom line. That's what we're trying to do here. So when we start out and we put in all the content and long content, we are putting in content based on the topic, the niche, it's related in the niche that it's written for. And that's all that Google wants to see. So as we go forward, we're going to answer this week some questions that came up in the group. And we're also going to talk more about SEO in the inner circle.
Absolutely. And we also, when you think about, and this is one of the subjects we'll move on to in the inner circle, when you change a link on a website, think your URL change. Carefully think where else on that site that URL might be, because then you get a dead link, and with a dead link, Google frowns upon that as well. The key to a website is, if I'm searching for a service, I want to find a solution to the problem as quickly as possible. And having tons of content's great because it helps Google tell you what you're all about, and it helps move you up the search engines. I had a customer of mine in the children's entertainment industry who I built a site for him when I first met him. We got him to page 1 of Google, no problem. Then about 6 months on, he said, I want to rebuild it. I'm not happy with the design. So okay, we'll rebuild it. So I helped him rebuild it, and did it on a cheap price as a friend. And that site then ended up being at the bottom of page 1. So I did all the work again, got him to page 2. Then a year after that, he comes back and says, "Oh, it's not, the site's not within my keeping of how I want the image. I want to redo it again." So I said, "Okay, well, this time I'm not going to do anything for you. You do it off your own back." I said, "I've pushed you to page 1 twice now, and it takes a lot of hours to get the right keywords on your site. You're now going to wipe a 10-page website down to a 3-page website by starting again." And I said to him, "If it's not broke, don't mend it." Then he started going, I've got some YouTube videos up for him. And he went, "I want this YouTube video taken down." Okay, take it down. Problem being with that now, that backlink's gone from YouTube to his website, and that's damaged his website. In the end, he's now at the bottom of page 2 of Google. And before we did the last update during the pandemic for him, I said to him, I said, "I can't keep doing it cheap for you anymore. You have to start paying properly, because we've changed your site 3 times. And each time you drop off of page 1, you don't listen to me." He rebranded his GMB URL. Well, of course, by doing that, it means I would have had to go through 100 odd citations he'd had created to make that title match up to all the other citations. My rule is, if it's doing well and it's not broke, don't mend it. But he's got some sort of OCD or something about his website, and he kept changing it. And he messaged me today going, I'm halfway up page 2, and I said, "That's fine. When you got the money, come back to me. I'll pay my devs to get you back up on page 1. And I got him when we were changing the site, and he said, "No, I want it changed now." What I actually did with him was I sent him a message saying, "Please agree to this, that you understand you may not be on page 1 of Google again, and that you'll have to pay to get it back up." And now he's panicking because he's not getting the work in. What he doesn't know is this year I'm going to build a children's entertainer page for his website myself, for his area, when I've got a bit of breathing space. We're just finishing off some major fun projects to improve all our inner circle members' lives with a lot of things, and so that's all I can share on that. I was Robert will fly to England and give me a clout around the back of the head.
That one I will.
So whenever I share too much, you tell me off, don't you, Robert?
In a nice way.
Yeah, yeah. So, is there anything else update the free groups on?
Things are coming. That's all we're going to say for now. We have a lot of things that are cooking. It'll come out in due time.
Now, there was a product I wanted to share with people, and I'm not an affiliate of Appzoom, but let me see if I can find it, and I will share this with you now. Those that have heard of NitroPack, there's a, let me share my screen a moment. I can show this. I'm testing this out so I can report back to you next Friday, guys. This is on Appzoom. It's called Rabbit Loader, and it basically does the same as NitroPack. Difference is,
okay, so what does NitroPack do?
The NitroPack, if you've got a site that is really dog slow, not loading very well, you're on a shared hosting platform where the servers aren't great, and things like that. This NitroPack speeds your site up. But with NitroPack, after a while, you have to upgrade to a paid version because of the amount of data it's using. With Rabbit Loader, you've got a few choices. And by the way, 60-day money back guarantee with this. You can try it for 2 months and go back and say, actually, just hit the refund button. You get your money back if you're unhappy. And so this is 5 websites, unlimited websites, unlimited. I'm planning on testing a free account. They do give you a free account if you go to their website, which, by the way, is here. You can click on Rabbit Loader on here, and there's a freebie version to test out your site. I think it's like a small amount. I think about 2 gig of data, possibly a month. I can't remember what they said, but in this case, I'm going to actually invest in the 1 terabyte version for $339, lifetime deal. Unlimited websites, unlimited page rules, unlimited views. I've emailed them to get them to confirm exactly what they mean by monthly traffic, because none of these companies really say what they mean by monthly traffic bandwidth on these things.
Yeah, don't rush to buy this. Let Stephen do some work on it, and so, we'll give you an update next week.
So yeah,
when does the deal end? That's the question.
They don't actually. I don't think they've actually got a deal date on here at the moment. But normally, right, this is about for a good week or 2. So we're okay yet, because it's not. They haven't messaged me to say last few days chances to get this. But I'm testing the free version out on Rabbit Loader, and I'll see how that comes through on the site I'm testing it on. If it does, one thing they say when you put the WordPress plugin in of theirs, what you need to do is give it 48 hours for the system to really kick in properly and speed your site up. The second thing I've learned with it is if you update your site, you have to hit the purge button to purge the cache. Third thing, turn off Magic Page plugin cache, because you won't need it. But give me a week, and if I hear any earlier that they're ending this, I'll put notes in the groups for everyone to say, hey, it's worth grabbing it now. Plus, like I said, they do a 60-day money back guarantee. It's looking very promising, but I want to try out the free version on a spare. I've got this site for customers who doesn't want his site changing at all. He's on GoDaddy hosting, shared hosting. It's very slow for some reason. We've tried to optimize it, and we bunged this on. And yesterday, I'm now waiting for it to update, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be coming back with some good news on this. By the way, if you're an Appzoom Pro user and you pay yearly, there's a discount inside the area. I think it's about 10 or 15%. I think you can get off the price as well. But don't rush to buy it. You can click on Rabbit Loader on the URL and sign up for free to try it out. What I recommend you do is use like a Gmail account to sign up if they ask for an email address, and just give it a test. 10%, Don says, as a member. Plus, unofficially, if you're not a member, if you sign up with Appzoom as a new customer and don't buy anything for a few days, they send you 10% voucher anyway. So yeah.
Steve, I want to remind you, because I think everybody needs to know this anyways. We noticed that the Google page speed tester
was
big time screwing up.
Yes, you're right. Let's see tonight what I'm going to do. I'm going to load up Google Page Speed. So if I use the House Painters URL, Robert,
Sure.
we can find the URL. I've got it here, saved it somewhere. Yeah, this was an interesting test that we did. And while I'm waiting for, I'm just going to go.
And the other thing that we also did a little tweaking on the server for that other.
Yeah, and there's a thing called Lightspeed plugin, and I'm putting some training together this week on how to use that without having to buy any other software. So if you're now hosting, you can speed up your site using that as well. Thing is, as you create these mass pages and more images are added, you have to optimize your images accordingly to make sure things are good. And if you don't optimize your images, the site will slow down. And we've mentioned before bits and pieces. Right, I'm going to share. I'm just going to check this is loaded on the other one, and then right. Let me share my screen. This was an interesting test we did, guys. So this is GT metrics that are saying, and probably because I'm streaming as well, I might get a slightly different result, but it's saying performance 75%, structure 77. We had an A on this the other day, so I'm not quite sure why it's slightly lower. Let's go now look at the version on Google, 43 on mobile, 83 on desktop. And we were getting a far better speed on GT metrics the other day. I might retest it and see what happens. But we were getting also on desktop on Google Page Speed only about 45%, and then it'd go to 80%, then it'd be 35%. And
sometimes it wouldn't load.
It does this. So what Google's done to it, I don't know.
At the end of the day, all of these are tools, and different tools, like even ranking tools, you'll see different ranking at different places at different times. And then you go somewhere else and then go check Google and yourself incognito, and you'll find a different answer.
So we're getting 80% now performance there. So, you know, GT metrics do actually give you a slightly better rundown of what you need to do to make it slightly better. And then, of course, you can load something like Rabbit Loader on afterwards. You know, so do try GT metrics. I like GT metrics slightly more than the Google. Yeah, that's free. More so than Google Page Speed, because I get so many different results on Google Page Speed. It just jumps up and down. One of the times I ran on your site, and it came at 10% on both, and then the next time you run it, it goes 75%. Next time you run it, it's 30. Which one's true? GT metrics on average is normally not far off from the truth.
Right.
So yeah. So is there anything, Robert, you want to update? Because we're going to say goodnight to the free groups now.
No, I think the rest, pretty much of what we have, is going to be in for the training for tonight on the link building.
That's right. Yeah, I'm just padding while I find the 30-second jingle. It's always the way when I might just play the start one again for 30 seconds because I'm being lazy tonight. Even though I wouldn't mind playing the real one. And let's find the right one. But it's worth testing out different tools. Don't always believe everything that one tool tells you. You know, we found different results with various SEO plugins that come up. You know, and I think that's a really important thing to do as well. So, but here we go. Night free groups. We will see you next week. In the meantime, if you want to join us, it's dfymagicthemes.com/live for you.